Hello, guys. It's 3 in the AM here in New York. Can't sleep, as you can see. Here in my PJs. Got my hat on because didn't shave. Was not really 100% presentable for a video, but I decided to do a video for you guys. It's a different video than what I'm used to doing. I'm actually on the video versus just my voice being on the video. Um, and two, this is not a full-fledged tutorial per se, but because it's 3 in the morning, I'll just explain how I came up with the effect that you're seeing here on screen. So again, it's not a tutorial. Too late to do an A to Z tutorial right now. So prior knowledge or some knowledge above just basic knowledge of Photoshop is required in order to understand the techniques that were used in this video. Okay, with that said, we'll begin. I'll start by showing you the original image that I started out with. Okay, so here's the original image. It's a photo I took of my buddy Samir, who is also a DJ, goes by the name of DJ Many Hats. Okay, first thing I did was to enhance my image, and I guess it's just, I don't know, force of habit, I guess, because we're about to just wreck the crap out of the image. But force of habit, I usually go ahead and enhance my image before I do any work to it. So that's what I'll start out doing. Um, so I just saturated the crap out of my image, duplicate the saturated layer, turn it to soft light. Now it's present me with this contrast look. I'm not quite ready for that yet, so I'll go to filter, other, using the high pass filter. A radius of 10 usually works. Go ahead and click OK. Now if you guys see the before and after, basically all I did was just sharpen my image. I've gotten accustomed to this technique. I find it work really awesome in sharpen up the details in an image without too much destruction to the image, which is kind of redundant because we're about to screw this image up anyway. But it's just a workflow that I've gotten accustomed to. And now I duplicated that layer and I'm gonna add soft light once again. So here we go with a contrast look of the image. I could take it further and your image will be different. Your result will be different. We're not working on the same image. So you got to judge this by your own eye. Okay, so I'm pretty cool with where this is right now. Next thing I did was imported some background. The background that I use was taken from the web. This was taken from DeviantArt. They got a lot of free stock images that you could use as far as textured background. I also got the brushes that I'll be using in this video from there as well. Okay, so imported my background. This background was a little bit too detailed and saturated for me. I didn't want it taken away from my actual image, you know. So what I did was below that layer, I added a white background or white filled layer, and then I dropped the opacity on that top layer to something about 70. Okay, and the image that I saturated and worked on, the black and white version, I brought it above that background layer. Okay, and there it is, and that was the mask. I add a mask to it, right? Now with the mask, I went ahead and chop out the areas, just do a rough chop on the areas that I won't be using. Cut those areas out, and then I ended up, well, this is where I use the brush, my brush tool. Um, I got a plethora of different textured brush loaded up. Here's cracking, grunge, dirt, scratch, just splatter. There's some blood. There's just tons of different kinds of textured brushes to use. Again, these brushes, I believe, if not all, most of them came from DeviantArt, and they are free. Okay, so once I have my brush selected, let me go in here. Go in here and let's say paint splat. Go append. Okay, so on that mask, we're just gonna add and take away areas that we don't need. And you can play around with your opacity, making it, increasing it, decreasing it, you know. There's no right or wrong way to whatever it is that you're doing. It is art, and it's your art. There's no one to tell you you're making a mistake, especially in an image like this. Really ain't no mistake. But there is overdoing it. Kind of different than a mistake, but you can overdo it. All right. So once you is satisfied with that rough initial chop that you made, now it's time to just layer. And this is what I ended up with. Now it's time to just layer paint on top of that image, right? Don't worry about details, you know, going too much on the details, because once you start layering this layer, much of it you won't be able to see anymore. So what I did, I'm gonna get rid of this, quickly demonstrate. I just add multiple layers of different textured paint, right? So this kind of looked like ink drop paint or something, some cracks. I don't remember what paint brush was used, but it really doesn't matter because it's just a textured look you're going for. So there's no exact nothing to this whole thing. I'm gonna pull the image back so you could actually see what's going on. All right, so this is the image, and these are our layers on top of it. So this layer is just black ink. This is black and some white. And all I did, I'm gonna just demonstrate here, is let's say we have our white selected. So there's white. I'll put this above the rest so we can actually see it. And you play with the opacity some, right? You swap out your brush. What you don't want is create like a pattern of the same thing. So you change the opacity, play with the opacity, you change the brush that you're using, just swap them out from time to time, you know, layering it up, changing the size, and so on and so forth. And I just inverted my brush back to black. Right? And since we were working on layers, you don't have to worry about messing up at all, right? Not at all, because once you put that down there, if you find it a little bit too overwhelming, which mine is because I already have layers beneath it, but you create a layer mask on top of that, right? And still using textured brush, you could go in here and just mask out some of these layers. right? You can just mask them out, and basically it's just layering on top of layering and so on and so forth. I wanted to let's see, even though you guys won't be using the same image that I used, I wanted to show you something here because it is a part of this image. But I wanted to bring back some of this hoodies, you know, to make it known that he's actually wearing a hoodie. So what I did is I just copied and then paste that hoodie above the paint layer. When you're pasting, hold down Control Shift and then hit V to make sure it's placed exactly in the right place as the original layer. Okay, now once I copy and paste that layer on here, right, you can go ahead and mask it out. Okay, you add a mask using the brush again, different texture. Right. I am getting tired now, people. All right. So, and again, the opacity, you know what I mean, it's just the randomness of it all that really create the look. So that was before, and then that's that layer that we just had. You know, no right or wrong way of doing this. None whatsoever. Okay. And after I was finished with that effect, like this looked pretty much done, right? And then I wanted to add just a little bit more flavor to this, a little bit more personality, something kind of like his signature. Um, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so I just took my pen tool, and I don't know if you guys can see it, my pen tool, and I just created a line over the eyes, slashing the nose, and some weird looking X symbol, which is just the A for Agustealo. I thought that was cute. But there is more squigglies and then my signature. Okay? And there you have it. Again, it's not a tutorial. If you guys really want a tutorial of this A to Z tutorial, then just send me some email. If I do get enough email requesting it, I promise I will do an A to Z tutorial on this. But it's 3 in the morning, very tired, didn't have time to do a tutorial. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, even though it's not really a tutorial. Until then, check out my website. Anything on there that you guys would like me to explain, anything on there you you want a tutorial on, just send those emails. I've been also getting emails requesting explanation on random Photoshop stuff, such as different techniques that people have seen on different websites. You could also send those as well. I'll do my best to explain it or create videos explaining such technique. Until then, guys, enjoy.